What's up, everybody? Steve here with Steve Invest. That's right, I bought a condo that I cannot rent out. However, I am making a creative return on the investment. I'm going to go through all the numbers with you guys and show you exactly what I had to do to get creative in order to basically get what I wanted to get. So for the longest time, I've wanted to buy a property over in Fort Lauderdale. It's a more active side of the coast. Right now I'm over in Southwest Florida, so on the Gulf side. And Fort Lauderdale I've always ventured over there. My sister used to work over there, and I've always wanted to pick up a place out there. However, if you've been following me on this channel, I'm pretty frugal and I did not want to pay for it. So I didn't want to have a second home and have that liability, that expenditure. So I had to get creative, right? So what I did was I figured out the condo I'm in right now. This is a beach condo over in Bonita Beach. I'll give you guys a little tour. So it is ground floor over here, directly on the beach, Bonita Beach. It's just a simple one-bedroom condo over here. Got the kitchen. We did this renovation probably about a year and a half ago. Still probably gonna do the floors here. Did the frosted glass doors. Bedroom. Now this is the owner's closet. I'll talk more about this as well. And as you can see, I got the keyless entry on here so nobody else can access it. You come in here to the bathroom. So I moved back into this condo and I had the intention of essentially just living here full time. It is, as I mentioned, on the beach out here. It is a great vacation rental property. It does really well, especially in height of season, January, February, March. So I got to thinking, I'm like, well, I can get creative with this if I buy another property and I rent this out partially and move into that property. That income will basically provide me the necessary return if I need it. So I was scouting out property over in Fort Lauderdale, and it's kind of pricey. However, I was able to get a really good deal. So across the street from the beach, there's these condos that used to be a 55 plus community. If you know anything about 55 plus communities, usually the values remain fairly low. And this complex specifically converted into an all ages, and I've been paying attention for years on this complex because the condos were so cheap. So they did eventually convert last year into an all ages, and even a lot of local real estate agents had no idea that they converted into all ages. So that, in my estimation, kept property values low. So I was able to lock in a studio condo over there for $113,000. Now the kicker is I cannot rent it out, unfortunately. However, it has been on the ballot the previous year to have the ability to lease the properties out. There are going to be restrictions. It's not going to be any kind of vacation rental property with short-term rentals. It's more for annual rentals, which will be fine and dandy in the future. Then I can rent it out and to an annual tenant. So the current situation is I closed on that property December 2019. As mentioned, January, February, March are the height season out here where you get the most amount of money for short-term rentals. So January, February, March, I leased this property out and I moved into that condo. And I'm going to show you guys the math right now. So here's the deal. Now I get to stay in that condo 3 months of the year. I rent this property out for January, February, March. That's pretty much guaranteed money. It's height of season. And also the other condo I don't rent out at all, so I'm able to intermittently use it and get out of town. Like we'll probably be out there again this weekend for a long weekend just to enjoy it and so forth. But let me show you the numbers here, and also comment below. Let me know your thoughts on this creative scenario and your thoughts on the return on investment. So on that condo specifically, the one in Fort Lauderdale, the annual HOA fees are $4,200. Taxes are almost $2,000. Insurance $900, and electricity and internet $1,200. All the other All the other expenses like water and cable and so forth are included in the HOA fees. So my total expenses for the year on that property is $8,200. Now, if I just bought that property and just had it as a second home or whatever the case is, that would be coming out of my pocket. And as you know, if you've been watching me for a while, pretty frugal. I want to make sure that I keep my expenses, my personal expenses, extremely as low as possible. So if I were not doing this creative scenario, I would not have bought this property. Now, as mentioned, I picked up the property for $113,000. Now, 3 months of revenue net after my guy takes his cut for the vacation rental portion of it, because he handles it. I bring in about $14,000 for those 3 months. The annual expenses on the other condo are $8,200, and my net operating income is $5,800 a year. I'm looking at 5.1%. Now, as mentioned, that property over in Fort Lauderdale, I'm not renting out in any sense. So if I could and I wanted to, let's say that I rented this property out for 2 more months off season, about $2,000 per month. That'd be $4,000 added to this $5,800. So you guys can see the potential here as well. And granted, again, it's a creative scenario because I'm utilizing the expenses, the income from this property and the expenses from that property. Just kind of creative thinking in my own head. But as you can see, I can get basically a 10% cap rate on this property if I did rent it out for 2 more months. Now, as you can see from the walkthrough on the Fort Lauderdale property, it's a little dated. It's got a crazy pink bathroom. There's a lot of stuff that I could do to the property, but I'm all in with furniture and everything else for $113. If in the future I am able to rent this property out, then I probably will redo the kitchen, redo the bath. So for now, it's clean, it's livable, and we're enjoying the heck out of it. Anyway, I really appreciate your thought process on this as well. I came up with this scenario, and I just feel that the price was so cheap that I had to jump on it. So anyway, I appreciate you guys. Let me know your thoughts, and I appreciate your support. And if you do like this video, I appreciate a big thumbs up. Thanks a lot.